Hi there, Janet Fitzer for Galaxy Girl Creations. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to another day of 31 Days of Cutfiles. Today I'm kind of doing a little bit of a, well, I won't call it a cheat, but I am using a kit. I am using the Spice uh, Embellishment Cluster Kit from 49 in Market, mostly because I'm traveling while I do this. So I just grabbed a few things I could take with me and work on while I was gone, but you can't take everything with you when you're on a trip. So this is what I chose. And I am going to be documenting these two little mailboxes. The girls that I take care of, for one of their summer projects, we painted mailboxes. Well, they painted mailboxes and created them because they were using just like a decorated cardboard box outside their bedroom door. And one of them was like a huge cardboard box. And that they were like making notes for each other and whatnot outside their bedroom doors. And I thought, well, wouldn't it be cute if they just had like a little mailbox outside their door? And they loved the idea. So we picked these up at Hobby Lobby for like maybe $10 each. And they painted them. They've even got little flags on them and everything. And so now they do leave each other notes, but I also leave them notes in them. And I just put their flag up. We kind of do the reverse of what the mailman would do. I put their flag up when they've got mail. Uh, because they don't really have outgoing mail, but they love it and they think it's so much fun. And so I wanted to document that. And so I am using the cluster kit and kind of loosely following along with one of the clusters that's included in the kit. Normally, I don't necessarily follow along. I just use the embellishments to do whatever I want on a scrapbook layout. But this time, because I have limited resources at my hands, I decided to go ahead and follow along. Also, my photos have a lot of white space in them, so I thought they would be perfect to slide into these little envelopes. And I really actually love the way that this comes out. Now, I haven't touched the cut file at all, but I am going to pull that out. And I did take my Shimmerz paints with me. They all fit in one little tray, so it's really easy to grab and go. And so I'm going to use those to color up the um, cut file and to create the papers to back the cut file. I just grabbed some white scrap paper that I had in my scrap bin, and I'm going to use that to back my cut file with uh, after I paint it. So I do have these cute little charms. These are from MK's store. They think they were in one of the embellishment boxes. They are one's like a postcard and the other one's a little letter, and I thought they were really cute, and so they went perfectly with this collection. So I'm going to go ahead and use those on here. And then I first started to pull out my Daniel Smith watercolors because I did take those as well. But at the last minute, I threw my Shimmers in, and those are going to work better for me. I've got more color options, especially in the purple family, and I want to bring in a lot of the purpley pinks because that's kind of what is the main colors on here. Now I kind of did something a little bit silly. Um, the color I just used there is called Thunderstorm. It's kind of a silvery color. And then I pulled out a whole bunch of different purples. One of them is Imperial Amethyst. One of them is, I think, Plum Crazy or Plum Crazy. I think that's what it's called. And I apologize that you can't see them great on my camera. Yeah, I've got kind of a makeshift desk underneath here. It's not even really a desk. It's a little rolling table at my brother's house. And finding a way to do it all was a little bit of a challenge, but I got it done. That green color is Rita on the Rocks. One of the colors is Purple Rain. I'm trying to remember what the other color is. I can't remember off the top of my head. Anyway, a whole variety of purples that I've got going on here. I'm liking how that's looking. I am going to also use the I Love You Onyxly, which is black. And um, if I had thought about it, I would have done the black first, but I didn't. I backed my cut file first rather than actually changing the color of the cut file. So it's all going to look a little bit imperfect, but I'm okay with it. The little mailboxes are imperfect as well. And so I think that's going to work and it's going to be fine. I am also using some packaging from these little postage chipboard pieces from Dusty Attic. I think I got these from MK actually. And I am using those to do the packaging technique on my background paper. My background paper is some Daisy White, close to my heart, which I still have in my stash. And I am using, I believe, the Imperial Amethyst for this portion of the, at least I believe that's the color I'm using for this portion of the back mixed media. So it is also Messy Monday, and doing some messy techniques here because, watercolor is what we chose for this month. And there is a lot of messiness going on with all the watercolor I've got going on. I also don't have a paintbrush and a cup of water. I just have this water brush that is for travel, or um, I mean, you could use it at home as well. It doesn't have to be for travel, but it's got the water in the brush, so I don't have to like have a cup of water or anything like that, which is great because this table is tiny. You're pretty much seeing the majority of the table, except for the portion of it that's holding has the stand for my camera on it. There's just not a lot of room, and I apologize that you're kind of seeing off onto the floor and all that good stuff, but it is what it is, right? So in backing my cut file, I'm not going to make you sit through all of that, but I am going to go back and, like I said, paint the rest of the cut file once it's already all put together. I don't really recommend doing it this way, but once I put the white cut file on top of my background paper, it just kind of got lost because it's white on white basically. And I knew that, but there's a lot going on, and my family's having conversations right behind me as I'm doing this in front of a window, and we're all just kind of hanging out at the same time. But I'm also trying to get this done because it's 31 days of cut files, and I needed to share this with you guys, of course, and I want to make sure that I get all my cut files used. So yeah, so you do what you got to do. Anyway, I like how this looks. I like that the black is actually not super black. I could have made it blacker by going over it one more time after letting the water sit in the little pot of paint, but I kind of like it more on the silvery gray charcoal kind of side. It's not quite as bold, which makes it kind of nice. I did have these little leftover pieces of purple paper that I am kind of tucking behind, just to give a little bit of um, layering behind my photos, because again, white on white, I felt like it needed a little something extra. And then my mixed media is not really super bold. Most of the shimmers that I have, I'm going to say, are not super bold. So you either have to let the pigment sit for a long time with the water and get really super juicy, or just go with it, right? And um, I like them that way. It's totally fine. It's expected because you know, that's kind of the way that I work with them. But I knew it wasn't going to be a really bold background, and that's okay. I do like the background, and I like how it came out. I am using a little bit more of I think that's the Thunderstorm color, on top of the chipboard pieces, but I did go over them with a little bit of black soot ink first. So that's going to kind of darken up the pigment just a little bit. I didn't go heavy handed with the black soot. I just kind of like tapped it down a few times to kind of get a little bit of the pigment on the chipboard, so that when I put the Thunderstorm paint down, it will kind of reactivate that black soot and make it maybe just a little bit darker. So I'm liking how that's looking. I am backing these little pieces with the leftover bits that I had from backing the cut file. And then I am going to use the two postage pieces, one at the bottom, one on the left, and then the charms are going in that right hand piece. And I like how that looks as well. I just attached the charms by using a piece of foam tape, mostly because that's what I had. And I like the way that it looks, and it's fine. And then I did bring one alpha die set with me with my little machine from Stampin' Up, my die cut machine. And so I cut out the words, "You've got mail." That's going to be my title. It's going in the white space above the photo on the left hand side, or on the photo on the left hand side. But again, my color was not really dark enough and it wasn't showing quite enough over the photograph. So I just went back in with that um, black soot ink and smushed a little bit more on there just to darken it up just slightly, to make it stand out a bit. And I purposely chose a font that was very much like a font a child would, or a child's handwriting, because these do belong to the girls. And I think it's super cute. Yeah. While I finish that up, I want to remind you there are a bunch of people playing along with, well, not a bunch of people, but there's a few people playing along with 31 Days of Cut Files. We've got friends that are adding videos throughout the month here and there. So you can go and check those out on the playlist that's linked down below. Go and check out what MK has for you today using the pencil border, or the pen border, whatever you want to call this one. I don't know. I think I've just been calling it the pencil border. And go and check out her channel and give her a little love. Her link is down below as well. Also, again, here's my messy cut file, but I kind of like it that way because it kind of mirrors the paint on my the little mailboxes, and so I think it works well with it. And that is it, you guys. Thank you so much for watching and spending time with me today. Hit the thumbs up if you enjoyed this one. I'll be back again tomorrow with another one. Take care and have a great day. Bye bye.